Hey there, I hope you're well. My name is Jobi and I'm a college advisor with Slay.com. Today, we're going to review WGU's Bachelor of Science in Accounting degree. I've got a spreadsheet that lists every course required to graduate, and we're going to go over that course by course to show you how to earn this degree faster and cheaper. And stick around to the end and I'll break down how to save over $8,000 on this degree. If you're interested in getting a job as an accountant or in a related field, this degree is a great choice. It's also a fantastic step toward a CPA license. Plus, there's an option to continue to a master's with credit that counts toward the total hours needed for your CPA license. It's a win-win optional win. Ready to jump in? Great, let's go. You can see that I've grouped these courses by the degree requirements and WGU courses. We split them into categories like Gen Eds, accounting, business, and more. This should help you know which courses count for what part of the requirements. You also see quite a few Slay.com courses listed next to WGU's. Over 200 Slay.com courses are approved for college credit transfer. That said, the courses listed in this map have been approved by WGU for these specific requirements, but these aren't the only ones you can use. The degree map linked in the description has alternatives if there are any others to choose from. I'll explain why I put each one in its slot as we go. If you're overwhelmed by all this info at once, you're not alone. But it's gonna be okay. This is your one-stop shop for this degree, so feel free to pause the video, open the degree plan link in the description below, save a copy, and edit your own version as we go through each requirement. That way, you'll be able to save your preferred course options and know that they'll work for you. And if you're not able to now, make sure you make a note for later. Your future self will thank you. Less stress, more organization. Now, let's dive in. Let's check out the first line. This is a Gen Ed requirement for applied probability and statistics. Pretty important for an accountant to know. There's not an alternative for this requirement, so you can go ahead and lock it in on your sheet. One tip for this course on Slay.com. You'll be able to use several stats tables in the final exam. There's a Z-scores and standard normal curve areas 1, a T-distribution 1, and one on binomial properties. You can print all of these out and use them in the exam. So don't worry too much about memorizing huge sets of data. Instead, focus on which equations and formulas apply for which problems. That will be critical on the test. The two lines below are for both English composition requirements. You can take either English 104 or 204 for the first and 105 or 205 for the second. Whichever course you prefer between these two, I suggest 104 and 105 for this degree because most students I've spoken with prefer it as a slightly easier version. That said, I'd encourage you to check with both courses and their written assignment output for yourself to see if you have a preference. Next is Intro to Communication, and Slay.com has both Communications 101 and Business 324 that'll work for this. Just a note here, you will need to take several 300 to 400 level courses for this degree. It's best to discuss how many and which ones with a WGU advisor who will have up-to-date information about your options. Now back to this line. I put Communications 101 here because it's a great course to move through quickly with relatively easy to handle projects and less than 100 lesson quizzes to complete. If that seems like a lot, rest assured that these are bite-sized lessons with 5 question quizzes, so it's not as daunting as you might think. Moving down, we have Critical Thinking and Logic. Humanities 201, Critical Thinking and Analysis, is pretty similar to Com 101 with 3 assignments and less than 100 lesson quizzes. You should be able to move through these two quickly, especially if you have any familiarity with the topics covered. Now we get math, one of the biggest stumbling blocks I see with most students. But if you're looking into accounting as a career, something tells me you probably aren't afraid of a little algebra. Math 103 or 104 will fit into the applied algebra requirement and give you a backbone in basic calculus to boot. Math 103 is going to be a lower level than 104, so you can probably move through that one more quickly. As an introduction to humanities, I picked ethics in theory and practice. With just under 100 quizzes and no additional assignments, it's a fast course to work through. Plus, it'll give you a good baseline for navigating and solving ethical problems you run across at work and other places. Next is a survey of U.S. history. You've got 3 options to choose from here. There are 2 U.S. history courses divided into 2 parts, along with a longer one that summarizes the 2. If you've already taken a U.S. history course for credit, you might want to consider part 2 on study.com. It's a little shorter and it's more modern history, which you may find easier. Physical sciences also has a bunch of options to choose from. So if you have a favorite science subject or topic, I'd usually suggest picking a course closest to that. Quick note though, some biology and chemistry courses on study.com also have virtual labs to complete along with the course itself. I heard from quite a few students that if you're looking for something quick, Intro to Meteorology is faster to work through. Next is Intro to Sociology, where you'll take Sociology 101 on study.com. At nearly 120 lessons, it's a bit longer than some of the others. With longer courses, I highly suggest taking placement tests whenever possible. These are risk-free, just answer what you know and be honest when you don't. That way you won't accidentally test out of material you need to know based on guesses, but you'll move past what you've already learned. It's a win-win. And that's the end of your Gen Eds. 1 section down, nice work. Now, as you can see, you'll take all of these accounting courses with WGU. Some of these don't have equivalent coursework, or WGU wants you to take this specific topic with them. So let's move on to the 3 HR courses required for this degree. You can take 2 at study.com with the 3rd at WGU. First on study.com is Intro to HR Management, which has 3 options to sub out. That said, Business 106 has the least amount of work out of the 3. Unless you're looking for 300 to 400 level courses, I suggest sticking with Business 106. Next is Employment Law. As you might expect, this course is going to take a bit more time to work through than most others. With over 140 quizzes, 3 assignments, and a final exam, there's a lot to get through. My advice here is to save this course for when life allows you to focus on your schoolwork, or at least not when you're already feeling overwhelmed. Plan this one ahead if you can, and your future self will thank you. Now onto your business core, all but one of which you can take on study.com. The first 2 up are Principles of Management and Fundamentals for Success in Business, which are covered by Business 100 and 101 on study.com. Both are longer courses with over 120 quizzes, but you've probably run across at least some of this information before in other classes or personal experiences. Quick tip, this is another great time to start off with a placement test and bypass what you already know. Next is Principles of Financial and Managerial Accounting. Here, you can take study.com's Accounting 101 course. This is a basic intro to accounting course. If you are eager to get some foundational accounting knowledge right away, you don't have to wait to take this course. It's perfectly fine to start here. Moving on to Information Technology Management Essentials, you can use Business 303 to learn about management information systems. Note that this is an upper level course and requires 3 assignments in addition to the quizzes and exam. Another good course to have to plan for, since it's probably going to take a bit more time to work through. Then there's Finance Skills. You have 3 options here to pick from. If you're already running the family budget or otherwise know your way around finances, consider 104 or 301. But if you haven't had that experience just yet, 101 is a great introduction. For concepts in marketing, sales, and customer contact, you can use Principles of Marketing. With just over 80 quizzes, you probably will move through this one quite quickly if you've worked in retail or smaller kinds of jobs. Speaking of retail, you'll need a basic economics course. Principles of Microeconomics is a great place to start, or you can zoom out a little bit with macroeconomics. They're about the same length and are great to start off with a placement test. The next 3 courses are focused on the business side of things, the first being Employment Law. No assignments to worry about here, but this does dig into legal issues and rights related to the U.S. employment and legal systems. Don't let that scare you. You can handle it. Just take it 1 chapter at a time. The next one is a mouthful. Business Environment Applications 2, which is about a business's processes, logistics, and operations. It's about learning the patterns and systems that businesses operate by. With study.com's Business 312 here, you have under 70 quizzes to worry about and 2 shorter written projects along with the final. Take your time working through the lessons to get familiar with the material. That'll cut down on your prep time for the assignments and exam. Your next course is a fun one. For managing in a global business environment, the Study.com International Business is just about 110 quizzes with no projects, and it's a great introduction to thinking about business on a global scale. If you have experience with foreign markets and trade, currency exchange, or similar topics, you're ahead of the game here. You'll take innovating and creative thinking at WGU. So we'll move on to the next line, which is emotional and cultural intelligence. Here, you can take Study.com's COM 301. It's another pretty short course with under 100 quizzes, one written project, and the final. That said, this is a longer project with some personal elements to it. You'll be asked to reflect on your own culture, maybe even your core value, religion, or gender, and think about it in the context of communication. It's pretty different from other courses in this degree. After that, you'll take the business simulation course at WGU. That course ties together what you've learned in your other business courses and makes the theoretical more practical. After that, it's time for the business management courses. First, there's values-based leadership. This one doesn't have a Study.com equivalent, so you'll take it at WGU. Next is operations and supply chain management. This lines up with Study.com's Business 315. For this one, the written project is a case study that will use knowledge from most of the course, so you might want to pop open the Take Notes feature on Study.com. You've got the full transcript down below, but this timestamps whatever you type to the video lesson. So feel free to pause, write down something on provided notes or your own iPad, and play the video as much as you'd like. Then open the notes tab of your account whenever you're ready to study, and bam, it's all right there at your fingertips between your notes, transcript, and flashcards. For organizational behavior, I like the course by the same name. If you're looking for leadership roles, check out leadership and organizational behavior. Have an interest in psychology? Industrial organizational psychology might be up your alley. Both of these other options are slightly more work with additional assignments, but are well worth the time if they have what you're looking for. We haven't talked about many courses related to math lately, so let's discuss business statistics. In most companies, the ability to analyze data is critical. This is a course many students tell me gives them invaluable knowledge in their jobs, no matter the role. It's everything from using charts and graphs in Excel to understanding confidence intervals and sampling methods. It's math, but with a great focus on business topics like forecasting and running tests. And then we've got the last two here, business ethics and intro to spreadsheets. You'll take those at WGU. And there you go. I know that was a lot to go through, but now you know how to earn a bachelor's degree in accounting from Western Governors University with Study.com. You can earn a total of 77 credits on Study.com for this degree. That's across 26 classes. Remember to budget your time and use the tips I described for each course. On Study.com, you can do 2 courses each month with no extra fees. For a little more, you can do more courses. So if you really want to speed through, it's worth it to pay more. If you just do 2 a month, these 26 classes will take just over a year, 13 months. That's $3,055 you'd pay to Study.com. At WGU at the same pace, you'd have to pay for 3 semesters. You can't go month to month. So that costs $11,865. So even if you don't go faster than 2 courses per month, you're saving $8,810. You could buy a used car with that kind of money. Remember, you can go faster. It's $70 on Study.com to take an extra exam each month. If you can do 3 or even 4 courses each month, you'll end up saving another $500 or $600. If you can do that, great. But I think 2 courses per month is a manageable pace for most students I work with. If you're considering accounting as a career field, this degree is a great beginning for your journey towards CPA certification and provides a relevant undergrad degree to get started. Add on to that the option to continue with WGU's master program to earn the hours needed to sit for a CPA exam, and you've got a fantastic pathway towards your goals and dreams. With WGU and Study.com's affordable pricing and flexible course schedules, this is by far one of the fastest and cheapest ways to earn a bachelor's degree in accounting from a reputable university. Just remember to grab transcripts of any prior college experience and fill in the rest with Study.com and WGU courses. WGU advisors are happy to help plot your degree map. And there's also study.com advisors standing by to help you pick out courses specific to your interests and career goals. So reach out whenever you need help and make a plan to get started as soon as you can, because that's one day closer to your goals and where you want to be. Thanks for watching, and if you're not 100% sure about accounting or WGU, check out the other videos on this channel for other ideas. Please like and subscribe. We've got you covered, and again, study.com advisors are here to help. Good luck. Bye.